Welcome to my podcast. Today we learn English at the doctor. This is very useful for daily life, especially if you travel or live in another country and need medical help. Let's start with the first situation. I wake up in the morning and I do not feel well. I feel tired, I have a headache, and my throat hurts. I also have a slight fever. I think maybe I am sick. I decide to visit a doctor. First, I call the clinic. I take my phone and look for the phone number online. I dial the number and wait. A receptionist answers. Good morning, clinic. How can I help you? I say, hello, my name is Tom. I would like to make an appointment with a doctor. She asks me, what is the reason for your visit? I answer, I have a headache, a sore throat, and a fever. She says, okay, we have an available appointment today at 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. Which time do you prefer? I think for a moment and answer, 2 p.m. is fine. She continues, great. Can you tell me your full name and date of birth? I give her my details slowly and clearly. Then she says, your appointment is confirmed. Please arrive 10 minutes early. I say, thank you very much. Now I feel a bit better because I have an appointment. Later, I go to the clinic. I arrive a little early. I walk into the building and go to the reception desk. The receptionist says, hello, how can I help you? I answer, I have an appointment at 2 p.m. with a doctor. She checks the system and says, please take a seat. The doctor will see you soon. I sit in the waiting room. There are other patients there. Some are reading, some are looking at their phones. I wait quietly. I feel a little nervous because I don't feel well, but I know the doctor will help me. After some time, a nurse calls my name. Tom. I stand up and follow her. She takes me to the doctor's office. I enter the room and see the doctor. The doctor says, hello, Tom. Please sit down. What seems to be the problem? I begin to explain my symptoms. I enter the doctor's office and sit down on the chair, and the doctor looks at me and says hello in a calm and friendly way, asking me how I feel and what problem I have today. I answer that I do not feel well, that I have a headache, a sore throat, and a slight fever, and that these symptoms started a few days ago and are not getting better. The doctor listens carefully while I speak and does not interrupt me, which helps me feel more comfortable. And then he asks me some questions to understand my condition better. He asks, when did the symptoms start? And I answer that they started about 3 days ago. And then he asks if the pain is constant or comes and goes. And I explain that the headache is mostly constant, but sometimes becomes stronger. He also asks if I have a cough, if I feel tired, if I have trouble sleeping, and if I have taken any medicine, and I answer each question slowly and clearly so he can understand everything. Then the doctor asks me to describe the pain in my throat, and I say that it hurts when I swallow, especially when I eat or drink something cold or hot, and it feels uncomfortable. After that, the doctor says he will do a quick examination. So he asks me to open my mouth and say ah, and he uses a small light to look at my throat. He checks my throat, listens to my breathing with a stethoscope, and also measures my temperature using a thermometer. While he is doing the examination, he explains each step in simple words so I know what is happening and do not feel worried. When the examination is finished, the doctor tells me to sit back and relax, and he says he will give me advice after reviewing the results. I wait for his explanation, and I feel a bit nervous, but also hopeful because I believe the doctor will help me feel better. After the examination, the doctor looks at me and starts speaking in a clear and calm voice, explaining what he thinks is causing my symptoms and what the next step should be. He says that my symptoms look like a common infection and that it is not serious, but it still needs rest and proper care to recover fully. He explains that my headache, sore throat, and fever are typical signs of this kind of illness. I listen carefully and try to understand every word. And when something is not clear, I politely ask the doctor to repeat or explain in simpler words. The doctor continues and gives me a diagnosis in simple terms, saying that I likely have a mild viral infection, which means it usually goes away on its own within a few days if I take care of myself. He tells me that I do not need strong medication, but I should follow some important recommendations to feel better faster. He advises me to drink a lot of water, to rest at home, and to avoid physical activity for a few days. He also says that I should sleep well and eat light food like soup, fruit, and warm meals. Then he explains that I can take some medicine for the pain and fever, such as a common pain reliever, and he tells me how often to take it and in what dose. The doctor also warns me to watch my symptoms carefully. He says that if the fever gets higher, if the pain becomes stronger, or if I feel worse after a few days, I should come back to the clinic or contact a doctor again. He asks if I have any allergies to medicine, and I answer that I do not. So he notes that in my record. I feel relieved because the doctor explains everything clearly and calmly, and I now understand what is happening with my body. Before finishing, the doctor asks me if I have any questions. I ask one or two simple questions about the medicine and recovery time, and he answers them patiently. At the end, he says that I should start feeling better soon if I follow the instructions. I thank the doctor and feel more confident about my recovery. After my visit to the doctor, I leave the clinic and walk to a nearby pharmacy. The pharmacy is not far, so I arrive in a few minutes. I go inside and look around. There are many shelves with different types of medicine. Some people are already waiting in line. I stand in line and wait for my turn. While I wait, I look at the signs and try to understand the names of different medicines. I feel a little tired, but I know I need to follow the doctor's advice. After a short time, it is my turn. I go to the counter and say, "Hello." The pharmacist answers politely and asks, "How can I help you?" I say, "I have a prescription from my doctor. I need medicine for a headache and fever." I show the prescription to the pharmacist and wait for a moment. The pharmacist checks the prescription and then gives me the medicine. He explains how to take it in simple English. He says how many times a day I should take the medicine and whether I should take it before or after food. I listen carefully and ask one simple question to make sure I understand. The pharmacist answers clearly and repeats the instructions slowly. Then he tells me the price. I pay for the medicine and take the receipt. After that, he gives me the medicine package and says, "Take care and get well soon." I thank him and leave the pharmacy. Outside, I feel more calm because now I have the medicine I need. I plan to go home, rest, and follow the doctor's instructions. After visiting the pharmacy, I go back home. I feel a bit tired, so I decide to rest. I sit on my bed and read the instructions on the medicine package carefully. It is important to understand how to take the medicine correctly. The instructions say how many times a day I should take the medicine and how much I should take each time. I follow the doctor's advice and do not take more than the recommended dose. I take one tablet with a glass of water. I make sure to drink enough water during the day. Then I lie down and rest for a while. Rest is important when you're sick. After some time, I check my temperature again. I feel that my fever is a little lower, which is a good sign. I also notice that my headache is not as strong as before. During the day, I eat light food like soup and fruit, I avoid heavy meals because I do not feel very hungry. I also try to sleep and relax as much as possible. In the evening, I take the medicine again as instructed. I set an alarm on my phone so I do not forget the time. I follow the same routine, take the medicine, drink water, and rest. I also avoid going outside because I need time to recover. I stay at home, watch something simple on TV, and keep myself comfortable. I check my symptoms from time to time. I think about how I feel compared to the morning. I feel a little better, but I know I still need more rest to fully recover. I understand that recovery takes time, and it is important to be patient and follow the doctor's instructions step by step. After a few days of rest and taking my medicine, I started to feel much better. My headache is gone, my throat does not hurt anymore, and my temperature is normal again. I feel more energetic and ready to return to my daily activities. I continue to follow the doctor's advice until the end. I drink enough water, eat healthy food, and sleep well. I also finish the full course of the medicine, even when I feel better, because it is important to complete the treatment. After my recovery, I think back to my visit to the doctor. I remember how I made an appointment, how I explained my symptoms, and how the doctor gave me clear instructions. I also remember visiting the pharmacy and asking for medicine in English. This experience helps me feel more confident using English in real life situations, especially in medical situations where clear communication is very important. Now I understand useful phrases like, I would like to make an appointment. I have a headache and a sore throat. How can I help you? Take this medicine twice a day. Get well soon. These phrases are simple, but very useful when you need to speak with a doctor or a pharmacist. I feel happy because I handled the situation successfully in English. I was able to explain my problem, understand the doctor, and follow instructions. Thank you for listening to my podcast. I hope it helps you learn how to speak English at the doctor step by step. Take care of your health and keep learning English.
Write a comment. 3 best comments get 20 English lessons completely free.